Do you have a story? Well, I already know what the answer is because we all have a story. Maybe you've heard someone say, no one wants to hear your story. I totally disagree. And the reason why is because there is always a group of people out there that can relate to your story, that needs to hear your story, and that can be greatly impacted and transformed by your story. On today's podcast, I want to talk about the power of you sharing your story. I'm going to give you 7 reasons why sharing your story is so important, because it's your story. Welcome to Arise and Build podcast, here with your girl Yakinea Marie. I'm excited to have you here on today. Make sure that you join me weekly because we're going to talk about some things, okay? So on today is 7 things that I want to highlight regarding your story. Now, I always say this, and it still stands true today. This is not an exhaustive list, okay? But number 1, why tell your story? Number 1, it's more for you than it is for them in the very beginning, okay? Ultimately, your story is designed to impact those who have the opportunity and the great benefit of encountering your story. But initially, your story is for you. Personal healing. Now, I remember my story. I remember, one aspect of my story, me being a former exotic dancer and drug trafficker, me dealing with low self-esteem, insecurity, rejection, inferiority complex, you name it. I dealt with it, okay? And so when God brought me out of the streets and I got over into the things of God, I felt so embarrassed. I felt so unworthy, right? I felt like I was dealing with this, what do they call it? I was dealing with this imposter syndrome. That's it. I was dealing with an imposter syndrome, feeling like, okay, you acting like you've never done those things back there, but you know you did those things. Not really understanding that once God forgives and once you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, your slate is clean, right? But I still carry it. So telling my story was a no-no. I was trying to hide my story. But once the Lord released me to share my story, and I began to share my story, I began to receive healing myself. The more I began to write, the more I began to tell it, the more I began to speak, I experienced a level of freedom from telling my story. Now, number 1 is personal healing, but number 2 is connection. It's connecting with others. When you share your story, you're going to find a group of people out there that can relate. A group of people out there that want to connect with you because they want to know, how did you overcome what you overcome? Or how did you learn what you learn? Or how did you build what you build? And here's the thing, our story is not limited to our life experience. Our story can be dealing with business, dealing with relationships, dealing with ministries, dealing with your creative purpose, whatever the case may be. But your story is your story, and you can decide what level of your story that you would like to tell. So number 1, you're telling your story offers personal healing. Number 2, connecting with others, especially if you're in business. If you're in business, you want to build a community. You want to build a community of people that vibe with you, that flow with you, that get you. And I'm telling you, listen, as a side note, you can build a business just off your story. Now, you may be like, how is that possible? Because you can teach people. That's one of my, and that's, what number is that? That is number 4. Okay, so I'm going to pause it for that. So number 3, telling your story, it offers a level of inspiration. It inspires people. You'll be amazed of people who are sitting on the sideline that will hear your story and that will step out. I remember when I used to tell my story, first started telling my story years ago, it never failed. I always had someone come up to me, or multiple people come up to me telling me how my transparency of my story motivated them to share their story. That's inspiration. Number 1, personal healing. Number 2, connecting with others. Number 3, inspiration. And number 4 is breakthrough. Listen, you'll be amazed at the people that's stuck, stagnant, whether it's business, ministry, whether it's on a job, whether it's life, whether it's relationship, finances, health, you name it. Your story of transformation, your story of breaking out, your story of creating can give them the blueprint on how to overcome, how to do it, how to build it, how to create it, whatever it is, right? So what I love about how-to books or workbooks or planners or journals is when you give someone the blueprint on how to go from here to here, right? It's not just them reading a good story. You're literally giving them step by step on how to go from here to there. It could be a 5-step plan. It could be a 7-step plan. It could be a 3-step plan, but you're showing them how to break out of whatever issues, challenges, or desires they have. All right. That's number 4. Number 5 is your story encourages vulnerability. The more vulnerable you are, you inspire others to be vulnerable. Some people hide behind their stories. I know this because I used to, because I was so ashamed of it, right? But when I stepped out and started being vulnerable, when I started taking off the mask, when I started saying, hey, this is it, this is me, okay? It encourages vulnerability with others to be more open, right? And then number 6, it solidifies your purpose. I said earlier that your story literally can be a business. You can start an entire business just off of your story. Well, the more you tell your story, the more you share it in different layers, you will find that it solidifies your purpose of why you actually exist on this earth, why you went through what you went through, why God led you to build what He led you to build. You understand? And then lastly is number 7. So number 1 is personal healing. Number 2 is connecting with others. Number 3 is inspiration. It inspires others. Number 4, showing individuals the blueprint. That's the breakthrough. Number 5, it encourages vulnerability. Number 6, it solidifies your purpose. And then lastly, number 7, it opened the doors to opportunities. I have had opportunities open to me for no other reason than I shared my truth. I was vulnerable. I was authentic. I was open. I was like, listen, this is it. Whether I share business stories, I share life stories. And it has opened up doors for me. So you sharing your story, it will open up doors of opportunities for you, not only locally, nationally, but even internationally. All right. So today I'm talking about why telling your story is so vital and so important. I hope I said at least one thing that blessed you. If I did, I'd love to hear it. Share it in the comments below. I encourage you to subscribe, like, and make sure that you share this video with at least 3 people that you know. Be sure to join me on next week. God bless.